So guys, in yesterday's video, we talked about how the Giants offense had been struggling throughout training camp. The timing wasn't there, the execution was inconsistent, and naturally, Jaxson Dart had started receiving more and more criticism. Heading into day 6, all eyes were on him because this felt like a big moment. Everyone wanted to see how he would respond and whether the offense could finally take a step in the right direction. And let's just say, by the end of today's practice, the entire conversation around Jaxson Dart had completely changed. There was intensity, drama, and one huge moment that had everyone talking. So let me break down everything that happened on Giants training camp day 6 and why this might have been Jaxson Dart's biggest day of camp so far. What's up, Big Blue? Welcome to the NFL Playbook Giants. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Okay guys, let's start with the offense because that's where all the fireworks happened today. It was the 6th practice and the second one in a row in full pads. Honestly, the humidity was brutal out there, but nobody was talking about the weather by the time practice ended. They were talking about how it ended. You know, John Harbaugh likes to close practice with a real game situation. He puts a scenario up on the scoreboard, down, distance, score, time, all of it, and he makes the offense go win the game right there in front of everybody. Today's situation was the offense down 27-21, ball at the 18-yard line, 42 seconds left, one timeout, and they had to go score a touchdown, get the extra point, and win it 28-27. No pressure, right? The first team offense gets the ball, and Jaxson Dart goes to work immediately. He hits Isaiah Likely for 7 yards to start things moving. Then he scrambles for 8 yards on the next play, and look, keep that scramble in the back of your mind because it matters later. First and goal from the 3, Jaxson Dart throws a corner route to Odell Beckham Jr., and honestly, it was a beautiful idea. He had his man beat clean, but the throw was just a little too perfect. It landed right in the spot where only Odell could catch it, and Odell couldn't quite bring it in, so that's incomplete. Second and goal, another incomplete, this one sailing to the back of the end zone. Now it's third and goal from the 3:18 seconds on the clock, and this is where it gets good. Jaxson Dart takes the snap, scrambles around, nothing's open downstream, so he just tucks it and runs it in himself from 3 yards out. Touchdown. And here's the thing. This wasn't the first time in that same session he broke off a scramble like that. Earlier on that 2nd and 8 run, he actually got in for a score too, but John Harbaugh moved the ball back to the 3, kind of giving the defense a little bit of a break since that one came off a scramble where the defense legally couldn't touch him. So there was already some tension simmering before this final rep even happened. Now, once Jaxson Dart punches it in for real on 3rd down, the offense goes wild and the defense starts chirping right back at him. I mean, that's training camp, guys. That happens every single day, but this time it hit different. Jaxson Dart, still fired up from the celebration, flips the ball in the direction of Greg Newsome. Now, I didn't see it actually hit him in the helmet like some people were saying, but the ball definitely went his way, and Isaiah Likely had to step in between the two of them to cool things down. You gotta understand the context here too. Jaxson Dart has been hearing it all week. Hearing it from the media about how sloppy things have looked, hearing it from the coaches to be better, it's a grind out there. So when the defense started chirping after he scored the go-ahead score, something in him just snapped a little bit. Now look, I'm not sitting here defending flipping the ball at a teammate, that's not the right move. But let's be honest, the defense wasn't exactly innocent either. Just a couple days earlier, they were celebrating like crazy when Darius Alexander picked Jaxson Dart off and nobody said a word about that. So, what happens next? John Harbaugh hits the offense with a 15-yard taunting penalty, which pushes the extra point attempt back. Ben Sauls is the kicker today, not Dominic Zvada, and Sauls drills it right through. Offense wins the scenario, 28-27. And that's how practice ends. Afterward, John Harbaugh actually addressed it directly. He basically said, look, you can't do that in a real game. It's a 15-yard penalty for throwing the ball at an opponent, and it nearly cost them the extra point. He reminded everyone what happened last year in Denver, where Jaxson Dart's heroics got them a touchdown, but then they missed the extra point, and it mattered. So, the message was clear. You have to keep your emotions in check, even when you're the one who just made the play. Now, I want to be real with you guys. This offense is getting better, but it's not like they suddenly look like a finished product. There were multiple times today where they were backed up deep in their own territory, just trying to get some breathing room, and that's fine. That's what camp is for. This is a completely new offense being built around Jaxson Dart, and the coaching staff isn't just running back what worked for him at Ole Miss. They want more. They want him developing into a complete pocket passer, someone who can go through his progressions, take a proper drop under center, and still have that ability to create when things break down. Guys like Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes can win by freelancing at an elite level, but that's rare air. The Giants want Jaxson Dart to win from the pocket first, and have the scrambling be the bonus, not the plan. He's not there yet, but he's growing into it, and today showed exactly why he's still so dangerous near the goal line no matter what. Alright, let's shift over to the trenches now, because there was some really good individual work happening in the one-on-one drills between the offensive and defensive lines. Francis Mauigoa had a handful of one-on-one reps today, and it was fun to watch him go against different guys. Against Darius Alexander, he held his ground. That was a win for Francis Mauigoa. Against Chauncey Golston, though, Golston used a nice swim move and got past him, so that one went the other way. But the real moment of those one-on-ones was Abdul stepping in to rush over the guard spot, which we already know is going to be a big part of Dennard Wilson's defensive game plan this year. He's lined up against Andrew Thomas basically every single day of camp so far, so seeing him get a shot at Mauigoa was something a lot of us were watching closely. First rep, Carter tried to win with power, but Francis Mauigoa stood him up, so that one goes to the offensive line. Then something interesting happened. Carter looped right back around to the front of the line and lined up over Mauigoa again, almost like he wanted a second shot immediately. This time, Carter ducked underneath and got around him clean to the quarterback spot. So, you could call that one even, split the difference, 1 rep each. One more note from the offensive line. Andrew Thomas actually took some snaps off today, and no, it wasn't an injury thing, it was just smart load management after back-to-back days in full pads. Marcus Mbow stepped in at left tackle in his place. When they rotated to the second and third team groups, we saw Marcus Mbow and J.C. Davis both getting reps at tackle spots, and the rookie, I believe it's Ryan Chernecki, got some run at right tackle with the third group too. Okay, now let's move on to the receiver room, because there was a lot going on there today as well. JuJu Smith Schuster did not practice today. He's dealing with some swelling in his knee, so John Harbaugh held him out as a precaution. That's not the news you want to hear, but because of that, Odell Beckham Jr. ended up getting a ton of extra reps with the first team offense, and honestly, he made the most of it. I'm not going to tell you he looked like the old explosive Odell from his prime, but as far as running clean routes, lining up in the slot, lining up outside, working the motion in and out, he looked really sharp. He was getting open for Jaxson Dart consistently, and remember, Odell is still working his way back from injury. This is literally his first time going through back-to-back padded practices since 2024. A lot of people wrote him off before he even signed here, saying he'd never make it through a full training camp. Well, he's 6 practices in now, 2 of them fully padded, and he's still standing. Odell also flashed some explosiveness in the end zone today, going up and making a leap to grab a corner fade from Jaxson Dart. Sure, it was against air with nobody around him, but the ability to elevate and attack the ball at the highest point still matters. He also showed off his football IQ, sitting down in a soft spot against zone coverage, finding the hole, and picking up a clean first down. You could really see the chemistry building between Odell and Jaxson Dart throughout the day, and it makes sense because this was really the first practice where the two of them worked together that closely. After practice wrapped up, Odell stuck around and threw with Jaxson Dart, Jameis Winston, Brandon Allen, and some of the younger guys like Xavier Gipson and Tanner Connor. Everything you hear about Odell right now is that he's being a great teammate, helping out the young guys, staying patient. But make no mistake, once you get a taste of first-team reps with the guy who's clearly the guy at quarterback, the competitive fire is going to kick in more and more. Malik Neighbors was also back out on the field today doing individual work, and he looked good moving around at full speed, even though he wasn't quite cleared for full team drills yet. It's really just a matter of time before he's fully integrated, and I still believe he'll be ready to roll by week 1 against Dallas. And keep an eye on Darius Slayton too, because he's been steadily building up his strength and could push for more reps as camp rolls along. So look, when you put it all together, today was a wild one. You had Jaxson Dart making winning plays under pressure, losing his cool for a second and paying for it with a penalty, and then bouncing back to help the offense finish the scenario anyway. You had Abdul already showing flashes of exactly what makes him so disruptive up front, and you had Odell Beckham Jr. proving that he can still be a real weapon in this offense if his body holds up. Tomorrow is set up to be the biggest practice of camp so far, 3 straight days in full pads, and the fans are coming back into the stands. I honestly can't wait to see how Jaxson Dart responds after a day like this, because if today told us anything, it's that this kid does not back down from anything. And that competitive edge might be exactly what this offense needs going forward.